A creatinine number can scare you, but one snack cannot tell the whole kidney story.
Creatinine is only one piece of the picture. What you eat matters, but the kidneys also read protein, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, hydration, medicines, muscle, and the rest of your lab results.
Think about it like this. A kidney lab report is incredibly similar to a car's dashboard. Creatinine might be that bright red warning light that just caught your attention, but a safe driver doesn't just look at one light. They check the engine temperature, the fuel, the tire pressure. In our bodies, those other gauges are your eGFR, your hydration levels, and your electrolyte balance. Throughout this explainer, keep in mind that a snack choice is just one small adjustment. It truly only makes sense when you step back and see all the metrics on your dashboard together.
Now, we've all seen the common and, frankly, dangerous mistake of searching for some miracle food to quickly fix a single number on a page. But the medical reality, it's much more profound. It requires evaluating your unique lab context and actively, consciously choosing foods that reduce the daily workload on those microscopic kidney filters known as nephrons.
So let's get into Section 1, protecting the nephrons, less waste, less damage.
When they're healthy, your kidneys utilize literally about 1 million of these tiny nephron filters to clear waste. But when they're damaged, that filtering process slows way down. The whole game here is generating less waste and protecting against further damage. For instance, struggling kidneys often have a hard time clearing excess potassium, which can actually become dangerous for your heart rhythm. So for someone actively monitoring their potassium dashboard, grabbing a single banana delivers a massive payload of over 400 milligrams. On the flip side, a half cup of red grapes offers that same sweet satisfaction with a fraction of the burden, only about 88 milligrams of potassium.
But it's not just about what grapes lack, it's about what they bring to the table. Grapes are absolutely fascinating because they contain resveratrol. This is a natural compound that helps calm oxidative stress, basically the cellular wear and tear that slowly scars your nephrons over time. The skins are also packed with flavonoids, like quercetin, which clinical insights suggest can help reduce the amount of protein slipping through those filters into your urine. But you absolutely must read the fine print on this. You need fresh, whole red grapes. Do not swap these for high-potassium raisins, and definitely avoid fiber-stripped sugary grape juices. To really maximize the benefit, try pairing 15 to 20 fresh grapes with a small protein, like a few unsalted walnuts. That combo naturally slows down any sugar spikes.
Moving right along to Section 2, protein without the burden.
As mature adults, we all face a natural muscle loss process called sarcopenia. Ironically, losing muscle can actually make your creatinine readings look worse, simply because creatinine is a byproduct of muscle metabolism. So you need protein to stay strong and prevent dangerous falls. But you need a specific type of protein that doesn't overwhelm a struggling kidney. When your body breaks down protein, it creates a waste product called urea, which shows up on your labs as BUN, or blood urea nitrogen. Enter the egg white. Egg whites have an incredibly high biological value. That means your body uses almost all of the protein and leaves behind very little urea for the kidneys to sweep up. Even better, by ditching the yolk, you are completely avoiding the hidden phosphorus inside it, a mineral that can weaken bones and harden blood vessels if it builds up.
But here's where you have to be a detective. If you're buying those super convenient cartons of liquid egg whites at the grocery store, check that nutrition panel meticulously. Sneaky sodium additives are used all the time as preservatives, and those can instantly throw a wrench into your blood pressure dashboard. Look specifically for brands with less than 100 milligrams of sodium per serving. Aim for 3 to 4 egg whites to get the 10 to 15 grams of premium protein your muscles are actually asking for.
Let's look at Section 3, managing potassium and the potato dilemma.
Potatoes are famously high in potassium, and honestly, they're almost always the first thing crossed off standard kidney diet handouts. But there is actually a proven kitchen technique that can completely change their nutritional profile. Because potassium is water-soluble, you can physically extract it. This method is called leaching. Here's how it works. First, peel and slice the potatoes paper thin, about 1/8 of an inch, to expose as much surface area as possible. Next, soak them in a large pot of warm water for at least 4 hours, and make sure to change that water halfway through. Finally, drain the old water away, rinse those slices thoroughly, and boil them in fresh, unsalted water.
This simple process literally pulls 30 to 50% of the potassium right out of the potato. It transforms a high potassium risk into a perfectly reasonable comfort food for certain lab patterns, assuming you have your doctor's approval. But listen closely. Microwaving a potato does not remove any potassium whatsoever. And actually, switching to a sweet potato without using this exact leaching process is a huge mistake, because a single medium sweet potato contains well over 500 milligrams of potassium.
Okay, Section 4. Smoldering, inflammation, and filter health.
When it comes to chronic kidney disease, there is often a low, smoldering level of inflammation driving those climbing lab numbers. Even if you feel perfectly fine on the outside, cauliflower is an absolute powerhouse for tackling this on your dashboard. A half-cup serving is incredibly low in potassium, phosphorus, and sodium. But the real magic is a natural compound it contains called indole-3-carbinol, which our bodies convert into DIM. Research suggests this compound actively reduces inflammation by influencing a major cellular control system called the NF-kappa B pathway. On top of that, cauliflower is rich in choline. Choline supports your kidney's tubular cells. Those are the highly specialized cells that concentrate your urine. Support those cells, and you might just find yourself making fewer of those exhausting, diluted bathroom trips at 2 in the morning.
Once again, though, you need to be careful in the frozen aisle. Do not sabotage these amazing cellular benefits by buying frozen cauliflower coated in processed cheese sauces. Those sauces are practically swimming in sodium and hidden phosphate additives, which are just brutal on damaged kidneys. Buy it plain, buy it fresh, pulse it in a food processor to make a great kidney-friendly rice, and season it yourself with a little olive oil and lemon juice.
Which brings us to Section 5, protecting the blood vessels.
You know, kidney health and cardiovascular health are deeply, intrinsically connected. Protecting the blood vessels that supply your nephrons is just as crucial as reducing the waste they have to filter. Now, a lot of people paying attention to long-term kidney health are told to just avoid all nuts entirely. And it makes sense because just 1 ounce of almonds carries roughly 200 milligrams of potassium and 136 milligrams of phosphorus. But macadamia nuts, they sit in a category all their own. They carry roughly half the potassium and phosphorus burden of almonds, making them uniquely suited for a lot of kidney-aware eating patterns.
Macadamia nuts are loaded with exceptionally rich, heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. We're talking specifically about oleic acid, the exact same beneficial fat you find in extra virgin olive oil. This helps maintain the delicate lining of your blood vessels, and healthy blood flow is exactly what those tiny kidney filters need to keep doing their job. But context is everything here. Macadamia nuts are calorie-dense, so you really have to stick to 1 ounce, which is about 10 to 12 nuts. Eat them raw or dry roasted, with no added salt or sugary glazes. And a very important aside for pet owners, they are highly toxic to dogs, so please keep them completely out of reach of your furry friends.
Finally, Section 6, your personalized eating pattern.
Integrating all of this requires a measured, highly personalized approach. Start by choosing just one small change at a time so you don't feel overwhelmed. Radically rethink how you season your food. Reach for fresh herbs, garlic powder, and lemon juice instead of the salt shaker. Meticulously scan every single label for the word phosphate, and most importantly, if you are navigating advanced stage 4 or stage 5 kidney disease, or if your potassium dashboard naturally runs high, these choices absolutely must be carefully adjusted. Always take this information to a healthcare professional or a registered renal dietitian to build a plan that respects your exact eGFR and your specific medical reality.
Ultimately, protecting your kidney health is not about finding some magic, fast-acting snack to lower a scary number on a piece of paper. It's an ongoing reflection of how hard you are asking your kidneys to work every single day. The real power you have lies in making informed, contextual choices. So, looking closely at your own dashboard, how can you adjust your habits today to responsibly reduce the workload on those microscopic filters for tomorrow?